Well, good morning to you all, good morning. Saturday. Is that the 8th? I think it's the 8th. July 2023. Glorious morning. Promising to get up to 32 degrees this afternoon. But I've got a few things that I need to go and get. And as ever, that starts with a trip past the chateau, looking at all of the swallows that are zipping about. Yeah, lovely day. Okay. What are we going to look at first this morning? Well, as we leave town, observing now, one of you did ask about how you know who's got right of way on these narrow streets. If you see those two arrows, the big black one says they've got right of way, the little red one says that I haven't. You need to keep an eye open for those. They're not difficult to spot because, of course, they can be found at the start of restrictions, width restrictions. And I'm hoping that what we're going to see as we drive down the road to Martizay, I'm hoping we're going to see something quite beautiful and spectacular. It's the time of year that we have beautiful and spectacular here. Nothing particularly beautiful and spectacular yet. Perhaps the memory was playing tricks on me. Perhaps it's further along the road. But if we look over there, there's some interesting yellow fields. I've got nothing behind me, so we can just look at that. Sunflowers. Isn't that just gorgeous? And there's a chap working to keep us supplied with food. I think farmers, we all like to mock farmers. Well, oh, they're all rich. Well, no, they're not all rich. Some of them are. But without farmers and without farms, we'd all be pretty hungry. And without sunflowers, we wouldn't have anything to cook in. Because my understanding is the majority of that goes for the production of sunflower oil. And here in France, we call it tournesol. Turnsol. Yeah, the next field here, maize, corn on the cob if you like, sweet corn perhaps. And as ever, bearing silent witness towards God. The tallest building in Martizay, the church. Well, another successful raid on the shops. It was an interesting morning so far. I arrived very early. I never really look at the time in the morning. You know, the sun comes up, I get up. And I got to the shops and there was I'll say a funny little man, that's probably not fair. Very small man. One of the things that is notable here, local people tend to be very, very short. You know, we might talk about les berrichons. That's the title for sort of natives of this part of the world. Well, this gentleman was probably less than 5 feet tall. He did tell me that next February he will be 80, and he was there doing his shopping, but he just felt a need to chat to me, which I'm never sure if that's because they're the sort of people that like to chat, or whether maybe I've got the sort of face that looks like I'm the sort of man that will listen. I don't know. And we chatted for some time, and he told me all about the problems of the world. Well, I caught every third word of it, because of course, being a proper Berrichon, he was speaking not French, but Berrichon. You know, the local patois. Naturally, we spoke about the differences between France and England, and of course, in truth, there aren't any real differences. The difference is between country and city. He's very upset about the riots that have been happening in some of the larger cities, and he told me about how he knows someone who lives in a city who saw some minor rioting. And then, as men do, he told me the cause of the problems. Now, I don't know whether he's right or whether he's wrong, just as I never know whether I'm right or wrong. But what he spoke about was the collapse of the family unit, and how there are families in the cities where the children don't know their fathers, where the families don't function. Well, that's something for all of us to think about, isn't it? Maybe a man who'll be 80 next February knows a thing or two. Anyway, then another gentleman approached me and asked me, this time in French, if I had seen the accident where last week somebody had hit his car in the car park at the shops, and I regretted that I hadn't. And he was complaining that whoever had done it hadn't left their name and address. Yeah, we live in this rural idyll, but sadly there are intrusions into our peace. Anyway, the shop door opened and it was a little bit like the Le Mans 24-hour. We all rushed with our trolleys to grab all of the bargains that were available today. And now I shall go back, see what mischief I can do. I haven't really got a plan for today. I guess it involves a certain amount of digging or cutting or such like, certain amount of cooking and eating. Should have swiveled the camera. There was a big heron in the field. And continuing words about who knows or how you know who's got right of way, the sign that I've just driven past was a warning triangle with a placard beneath it that said "Cédez le passage," which translates as "give way." There's another one here. I wonder what this one says. Oh, it says stop in 150 metres. Well, I've stopped. We'll just let this car go past. We're not in a tearing hurry. And filter into traffic. This is what passes for traffic here. Now, shall I let the camera just run until we go past all of those beautiful sunflowers again? I think that's a plan, isn't it? That song, I got a brand new combine harvester. It's that time of year, combine harvesters trundling about the countryside. Come over the rise, just look at that wonderful field of sunflowers. do get the chance, pop over this weekend. They don't last very long, but while they're flowering they are just spectacular.